Roadhouse 305, Shire boundary, Warburton 568. This is the Great Central Road now, and I'm going to a place called Giles Breakaway because the caravan park was locked up by some gates. Alright, Alice Springs, 1587. Wow. Okay, here we are, back on it. They scrubbed it all out. Welcome to Outback Australia. Well, this is the first new section, apparently. This is the Outback Way Work Section 1, apparently, according to a sign back there. Oh, look at it. Oh, nice and smooth. Paid for by our taxes. Well, this is a big change from previous experience. It's paved. This is, how far are we? I'm 31 k's outside of Laverton. Don't remember it being paved that far out on the previous trip. But anyway, I'm not complaining. It's very smooth. Maybe we've got a picnic table and a tree in a kilometre. Have a look in here. I don't know if you can camp. Have a looky. Oh, okay. Doesn't say about camping. I suppose you could, but I was actually aiming for another place further up the road, which is supposedly 13.7. So we're going to have a look there. That's very nice though. I suppose you could, anyone with a caravan, you could pull in there, but I've got a tent. Well, I don't need to put everything up. There's no facilities, etc., etc. Well, the GPS is not lying because it says a kilometre, and this is the place that I had selected according to Wiki Camps.
Turn right. Take the left.
300 metres on the right, okay. there's a puddle. You get my feet wet. Oh no, there's no people here. That's it. Oh wow, look at this. Oh. I might get out and have a little bit of a Captain Cook. Well, this is pretty spectacular. This is called Giles Breakaway. And apart from the bottles and cans in the rubbish, next to the rubbish bins, look at this. Let's have a wander over here. It's like Australia's Grand Canyon. Crikey! Look at that. That's beautiful. Wow. We might have a little drive. I actually have on the surface selected one little campsite, but I want to have another little look. The camera is facing due north, and I'm going to spin around. This is looking to the east. To the south. And to the west. And the wind is coming from the west, which is why I have the beast parked over there in the shade of those trees, but the beast will also shade my awning. Oh, well, here we are, Sunday, the 4th of May, 2025, and I am at on the Great Central Road, officially on the Great Central Road, and right now I'm probably trespassing because I have a permit to enter Nganyat Jarrah lands. This is from the Nganyat Jarrah Council Aboriginal Corporation, and they've given me, I got it online, a 3-day transit permit. Now I came up from Albany, as you all know, and it takes me a few days to travel up here. And of course, when you're planning this trip, they said, well, they give you a 3-day transit permit with a whole heap of conditions, I might add, all of those. I also had to get one from the Central Land Council, that's another Aboriginal body, to allow me to go into the territory and go on their lands. Right? These of course are all lands that have been handed back to them by the government, and you probably heard me earlier today when I was coming through Kukaini about that old gentleman, old Cowcocky, and I won't actually repeat what he said, but he would have been probably in his 80s, and he was not very complimentary at all. Now I don't want to get into that sort of stuff, but the point is, and I don't mind getting a permit, and there are other issues that I think we as Australians need to address. So I'm going to stop this one just for a minute because I have some other notes that I would like to read. I wrote a poem. This is actually a couple of months ago, and I'd like to read it. It's called Please Explain. Interesting. Please forgive my ignorance, but can you please explain this reconciliation stuff and how I am to blame? I didn't take your kids away. I didn't steal your land. I came out here for just 10 quid to try to lend a hand. What is it that you really want? I just don't understand. There's many places I can't go. Just look at Arnhem Land. A white man needs a permit just to get inside the gate. In my mind it has become an Aboriginal state. Now you might call me racist, and I don't really care. But I would like some answers to my questions, fair and square. We cannot turn the clock back. Too much has passed for that. The nation's being polarised while some are getting fat. Let's all sit down and work this out before we lose the plot. Let honesty prevail before our collars get too hot. Always was, it's our land, isn't helping this debate. You do not carve a country up to serve it on a plate. Australia is for all of us, not just a certain group. We're all in this together, like a warming winter soup. Your people have been here, it's true, for countless many years. The white man did you wrong, and so you've shed so many tears. It's too late now to fix the past. Your history's gone and dead. So tell me if you can, my man, what is it you see ahead? A country where I cannot go? You tell me that it's sacred? Why do I think that I just might have been manipulated? You cannot chop up pieces, say this is mine, not yours. Acknowledge what you cannot change and open up the doors. Australia is a great big land with laws we must abide. Think how different it would be if we all lived side by side. Welcome to my country is a right you now perform. Invented in the 70s, but now it's facing scorn. Acknowledgement of country is another of your scams. Most of us just tune out now and couldn't give a damn. Every country in the world has at one time been invaded. Strangers come and people die and memories get faded. Nations rise and nations fall, but none will live forever. Don't divide us with this stuff, it isn't very clever. I'm sick of being told how much we need to close the gap. Your people aren't the only ones getting caught up in the trap. Governments don't give a damn about people, white or brown. They only cater to the ones at the bigger end of town. Come election time they promise us the earth. The seats with narrow margins are exponential to their worth. They said you'd get a voice last time, and look how all that ended. Australians all said no, but then your people got offended. To close the gap, you all must now get down off that high horse. The more that you complain results in a situation getting worse. I want to help redress the hurt, but I am not to blame. That is history, fair and square, and that is history's shame. Get your kids to go to school and learn how to succeed. Don't rely on government to cater to your needs. If I must get a permit just to drive upon the land, keeping me locked out just draws a line upon the sand. You had the land under your feet for 40,000 years, but now you blame the whitey man for causing all your tears. I respect your feelings, but there isn't a solution unless you all can rise up now and cause a revolution. The world is in a parlous state. Economies could crash. Australia will withstand the pain if we do nothing rash. Stand together, one and all. Let's work to help each other. Don't put fences on this land, and let me call you brother. Now I wrote that weeks and weeks and weeks ago, and it still holds true. And currently I'm reading a book that was written in the year 2001, 2002 by Paul Sheehan, a journalist, and he actually plotted the path of the media in all of this. And when the media have something, previously it was boat people. We didn't have boat people, but there has been an industry created by certain left-wingers about what I call the Aboriginal industry. And it started with Gough Whitlam way back in 1972 when he did the right thing and he handed back, but then once you start giving stuff to people and they think, oh yeah, we can do this. If you read Sheehan's book about the boat people, the so-called refugees that came to this country on boats, a good more than 50%, in fact way more than 50%, were actually not refugees at all, and they played the system. And I feel that we are being played right now over this handing back of everything and all the ceremonies that we have to go through, and all of the name changes that are going on. I can't even turn the ABC on. I thought Melbourne used to be called Melbourne, but now it's called Narn. Anyway, I rest my case. I've had my rant. That's it. Now let's have a nice look at this magnificent country that really should belong to all of us, not just one group of people. I'm not going to go on, but have a look. And yes, it needs to be protected, but to make people get a permit to travel here, well, that's a bit of a thing, I think. Anyway, I'm the only one here so far. Well, as you can see, I'm getting great use of this little fire thing. I'm going to have something very light today. I'm going to have some cup of soup and a thing of noodles, some noodles. And I just had to change my battery pack for this camera. But anyway, you can see the sun is about to head down towards the horizon. And I see over in the distance, there's a caravan that's pulled up, way over there. And over here, on the horizon, but the flies are still pretty bad. Sunset with the flies. Oh well, I've had dinner. I've just got to clean up a couple of dishes, and then I guess I turn in. I get very tired driving in the heat, and I realise I can't stay up as long as I used to. Sometimes I'm actually in bed at 6 p.m. I'm not even putting any lights on. I got a stack of lights in there, but I think it disturbs the ambience. It's just beautiful.